Welcome to Snark Theater, where bad fiction gets blasted. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I have some bad news. Make sure you're sitting down for this because it's not going to be pretty. The next chapters they're so damn boring!
Lips ripe as the berries in June. Red the rose, skin pale as the light of the moon, gently as she goes.
Seriously, I never thought it would come to this. I mean, think about it. I'm doing dramatic readings about a short, cantankerous woman who hunts vampires and rules over 2 different lycanthrope groups, all while raising the dead for a living. Honestly, chapters 26 through 30 are full of nothing but melodramatic whining. However, it is my job to make this crap entertaining, so I will do my best to get us through this snooze fest. Which rhymes and is not my fault. Let's get started. Chapter 26 opens with Richard, Anita, and the pack all going to get Gregory out of the oubliette, which translates to a little place of forgetting, as Anita informs us. It's apparently a traditional happenstance in European countries back in medieval times, or so she says. The werewolves unscrew the lid and drop down a rope ladder. Naturally, this oubliette doesn't have the luxury of indoor lighting, and Anita is claustrophobic. For a moment I thought this would be a tense, introspective moment for Anita as she tries to conquer her fears, but then this happens. I held out my hand for the flashlight. Richard shook his head. I let this happen. I'll get him out. I shook my head. No, he's mine. He knelt beside me and spoke softly. I can smell your fear. I know you don't like close places. It doesn't matter that I'm afraid. I touched the flashlight, tried to pull it from his hand, but he held on. And short of playing tug of war, which I would probably lose, I wasn't getting away from him. Why do you have to be the toughest, the bravest? Why can't you just once let me do something for you? Going down in that hole doesn't scare me. Let me do this for you, please. Guys? He's still down there. I shook my head. I have to do it, Richard. Why? And his voice held the first hint of anger, like a slap of warmth. Because it scares me, and I have to know if I can. Can what? If I can crawl down into the hole. Why? Why do you need to know that? You've proven to me and everyone here that you're tough. You don't have anything left to prove to us. Guys, seriously, Gregory is still down in a hole filled with dead people and feces, and he's probably starving to death as we speak. To me, Richard, I have something left to prove to me. What difference would it make if you couldn't climb down into that stinking hole? You'll never have to do it again, Anita. Just don't do it. Alright, this is starting to piss me off. Will you both just shut up and get Gregory out of the damn hole already? Give me the flashlight, Richard. He held on with both hands. Why do you have to do this? Just tell me that. You're so scared your mouth is dry, and I can taste it on your breath. And I can taste fresh blood on yours, but I have to do it because it scares me. He shook his head. This isn't courage, Anita. This is stubbornness. For God's sake, shut the hell up and go help Gregory, you dumb cock-juggling asshats! I shrugged. Maybe, but I still have to do it. He clutched the flashlight tighter. Why? Seriously, people, this is like Chinese water torture. There is an innocent man who has been beaten, tied up with silver, starved, and left in sensory deprivation in a deep, dark hole among other dead bodies for days on end, and Anita and Richard decide to have an argument about her stubbornness. There's a traumatized man down there, and all Anita can think about is herself. And you know the worst part? This goes on for a total of 4 pages. 4. Why? Why would you write something so stupid and pointless and belaboring unless it was just to fill up space in this monkey splooge you call a book? Oh, right. Because Laurel K. Hamilton needs her fucking paycheck.
We've got to have money.
Ugh. Chapter 27 opens with Richard and Anita climbing down the hole into the oubliette. Yes, that's right. She ended the last chapter on their bitching. Our heroine, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, they get to poor Gregory. He was on his stomach, hog-tied, his arms and legs at such acute angles that I couldn't imagine lying there like that for 3 days. He was nude, a white cloth blindfold cutting across his face, knotted in a tangle of long, blonde hair, as if even that had been done to hurt, and not merely to blind. Okay, I take it back. Can we go back to the bitching? So they manage to untie Gregory, but as you've heard, the damage has been done. Anita demands that Jacob and anyone who helped him be brought down there as well. As predicted, she and Richard continue arguing about what's to be done with the pack, and you can see why I warned you ahead of time that this would be boring. Eventually, they lift Gregory out of the oubliette with a harness and drag Jacob forward. Richard demands to know where he found out about the silver earplugs that pierce Gregory's eardrums, but Jacob won't talk, so they drug him and put him in while Anita and the rest of the pack go home. Gee, what a victory.
Got this! Here's the guy who's just in the nick of time! What does that make us? Big damn heroes, sir! Think we do!
We open chapter 28 to Anita back at home after everyone has helped clean up poor Gregory, and Anita is discussing his health with their shapeshifter Dr. Lillian, who tells us that in 8 hours Gregory might be permanently deaf if he doesn't shift into his wolf form to heal. You know, maybe if Anita and Richard hadn't taken an extra half hour to discuss her stubbornness, this wouldn't have happened, but I digress. Lillian says that if Anita were a true Mirage, she would be able to heal Gregory completely. Otherwise, they'd need another Ulfric like Richard, or Lillian can give him more drugs to counter the ones he's already been given. This could either heal him enough so he could transform, or rupture all of his blood vessels. Damn. Gregory sure is getting the short end of the stick these days.
Why, universe, he was Benito!
In the end, Anita agrees to let Lillian give Gregory the drugs since there aren't any other options. Lillian goes off to prepare while Micah comes in and tells Anita that he has to leave since one of his part members, a girl named Violet, has gotten herself into trouble. Anita, of course, grills him about what's going on, but he doesn't want to say since she's not the damn boss of him, and so his beast begins to get riled up due to his frustration.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?!
After a bit of a standoff, Micah takes a couple of the were-leopards and leaves to collect Violet, while Lillian and Anita get ready to try and save Gregory's hearing. Chapter 29 opens with Anita and company out on her deck. Gregory's twin brother Stefan is there for comfort, and he's feeling particularly guilty since Richard had kept him out of the Lupinar, since he originally thought Gregory would be executed. I should also note that Gregory and Stefan have a very creepy Hitachi brothers vibe going for them, just to warn you.
その話はひどいよ、みんなの前で。そんな話。
カオル。ごめんよ、カオル。あの時のお前が可愛かったから、つい。
光る。
In the meantime, Anita decides to try calling a mutant in case it helps Gregory heal, because it worked before on Nathaniel. She's still hesitant, though, because Raina is a sadistic bitch who might try to molest Gregory while she's in Anita's body. Therefore, she takes off all her guns and knives, and her shirt for some reason, and gets ready for the down and dirty. When she calls Raina, the bitch insists to have her reward, which is basically feeling up the traumatized Gregory, and oh goody, we're back to the badly written sexy scenes. So Raina takes the time to show Anita a tidbit memory of her and Gregory going at it, which involves way more blood and grossness than I am willing to read, and Anita flips out, so Meryl has to haul her off to the bathroom to have hysterics. Our heroine, ladies and gentlemen!
Wow. Fail.
But fortunately for us, that's the end of chapter 30. We'll get to see our wonderful little zombie razor do what she does best, namely bitch, moan, neglect people, shoot people, and act like a selfish whore biscuit in the next installment of Snark Theater.
Shush, girl. Shut your lips. Do the Helen Keller and talk with your hips. I said, shush, girl. Shut your lips. Do the Helen Keller and talk with your hips. I said, shush, girl. Shut your lips. Do the Helen Keller and talk with your hips.
Welcome to Snark Theater, where bad fiction gets blasted. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I have some bad news. Make sure you're sitting down for this, because it's not going to be pretty. And neither is that, because that's my phone ringing. Why would you write something so stupid and pointless and belaboring unless it was just to fill up space in a monkey fucking word that I can't say because it's hard to say and only the nostalgia critic can say it?
Silly whore biscuit.